Hello Taurus, welcome to your bonus reading. Yes, all the Taurians, they were hitting the marks last month, and so you got the most views for my very first Astro Tarot publications. Okay, so I hope all the Taurians are doing well out there. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, hit the bell below this video for further notifications. Everything you need to know about me is in the drop box below. And give me feedback on the readings. Okay, so this is a general reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If this reading doesn't resonate with you, below this video there is a link. You can click on it and you can get a natal chart drawn up so that you can get more information on your chart, and then check out some of the other signs that you resonate with. Okay, so let's jump in. What's been happening with Taurus? We do have Venus that's gone into Gemini. Okay, Gemini is the second house from Taurus sun sign. And it's going to stay in Gemini for 3 long months, okay? So prepare yourself for your planetary ruler going through a huge period of reevaluation concerning your values, what's important to you in your life, where you want to invest yourself, your resources, okay? It's about your resources. But it's also about relationships because it is Venus after all. So let's have a look. Our shadow card is the Four of Wands. So I feel there is energy that you invest in creating a stable home life for yourself. You are also very good at pacing yourself at this point in time concerning your, your energy levels, because Wands to me is your physical vitality. You have really good staying power at this point in time. Okay, so we're going to put this out there. I've changed my layout for my... let's put it there. That looks good right there, isn't it? I've changed my layout, so I've got to get used to that again. Right, so what's happening with you? Let's get the cards out and see. Ooh, someone is definitely paying attention to endings and doing the right things. There's new love coming in. Focus on relationships. There's transformative energy here for you. Okay. I feel for Taurus at this point in time that there's going to be at times where you feel you're going to really have to speak your mind on certain things, that it's going to be virtually impossible for you to stay quiet to keep the peace, okay? Because you are in a transformative phase. We have justice, we have death, we have the Ace of Cups. So I feel like there is a huge concentration on yourself, for yourself, in finding your spiritual radar, what makes sense to you, and in the deeper way of how you live your life. Because with this Ace of Cups and the Death card next to each other, speaks to me that the transformation that you are currently going through is in the pursuit of your own happiness and your authenticity in the way of how you express yourself emotionally. There is also a possibility for love coming your way. There is, if you're open to relationships, I do feel that there is a very important relationship that is going to bring in balance and usher a period of balance and beauty in your life. And I feel like it's going to be virtually impossible for you to stay quiet when it comes to speaking your mind concerning things that are fair and just, or what you perceive to be fair and just. You're also going to end certain things, relationships, situations in your life to return the balance. I feel like you are going through, especially with Venus going into a retrograde, In Gemini, there's definitely a period of reevaluation, and I feel like you specifically looking at returning the balance in your life and be doing the right thing, not only for you, but for everyone involved. And I feel like you're not ruled by your emotions. You rather, at this point in time, look at the facts. But when you do look at the facts of, and if these important decisions that you have to make, I feel like you're making the decisions for the highest good of all. You're really coming from a really good place, Taurus. So tell me about this Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is someone who speaks very fast. They very action orientated, very goal orientated. This person just lets the words fly, especially next to the Page of Swords. I want to just put a caution out there. Be mindful of your words, okay? How you use your words, how you speak. If you feel like you want to speak impulsively, it is up to you. I never ever tell people what to say, but I do feel like there could potentially be a situation when you do speak impulsively that could really just bring an end to some situations because you're just so done with it, okay? But however you want to do it, I'm just saying that there's energy hanging around here that is going to encourage impulsive behavior, okay? We do have Mars squaring your sun. Mars at the moment is in Aquarius. It's squaring your sun, so that does give that energy of impatience and just like don't really care how the chips fall at this point in time. So tell me about this Knight of Swords. Why is the Knight of Swords here? I feel you want to speak your mind on something, that there's one issue that you want to speak on, and I feel like when it comes to romance, you are definitely not going to put up with any BS. If someone comes to, like, this is why this Knight of Cups is here. The Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is here because of the Knight of Cups. I feel you have dealt with a fair amount of situations in the past where people come to you with a cup of BS instead of really being honest and coming from a good place. You know, you're just not going to put up with anything superficial, anything that's on the surface, anything that doesn't have consistency about it, okay? And you're just going to speak your mind. So like, and you're just going to, you'll be able to make really good judgment calls during this period of time. I also feel like Venus, your ruler, is going to square Neptune and Pisces. So I feel like you very much aware and putting the radar, the feelings out, because cups are intuition, is emotion, okay? I feel like you're going to trust your emotions and your intuition when it comes to decision making. Even though you're not allowing your emotions to rule you, you will be taking it into consideration. You're definitely not in your head all the time, okay? So you are going to know when someone comes and they just want to sweet talk you. And you're just going to cut straight to the chase and say, I don't have time for this, okay? And you're not even going to wait and think it over. You're just going to put it all out there. So tell me, why is Justice here? Justice is about being fair. It's about the law of balance, returning to balance. Yeah, look at that, eh? Justice is here because there was a lot of chaos in your life before. You had to put up with a lot of conflict, chaos, your whole world crumbling in the past. And now you are looking at the situation and you just call it and you say, well, the way that I choose to be from here on out, whether I want to move on in a total transformative energy and pursuing my own emotional happiness, but you're definitely going to make decisions on things that is causing chaos and upset in your life. And I feel like you're totally done with it. You're totally moving on from situations that you know doesn't serve you. And I feel like the experiences you had in the past was a situation of, how do I say it? Totally just realizing what people and situations you invested yourself in, and you built your stuff on a shaky foundation. You invested yourself on a shaky foundation, and you're totally done with that. And that is why you have this Knight of Swords, because of the life experiences that you had in, I don't know, the last 10 years, 15 years, put it how it fits. But you have much more life experience now, and knowing yourself to the extent that you know what your deepest fears are. You have been through a lot. That's why we have the Tower and the Death card here. So you calling on that experience to say, I know now what situations and things I should avoid, and you can instantly recognize those situations and call it out. That's why we have the Knight of Swords there. You don't even have to think about it, okay? Very dear lessons learned at very at high cost. That's what I want to say. So tell me about this Death card. Death is about transformation, and we have the Pisces card flipping out. So there's a lot of water here. I feel for Taurus when they're dealing with the transformation, they've learned how to surrender. They've learned how to accept the dark as well as the light of their life. They've been to very dark places, depressive places. They had to make huge sacrifices, I feel, for some of you. And you've learned how to surrender, but because you have been hanging in limbo, and you have learned, you basically owning that lesson of surrender. And we have a lot of Pisces energy here. We have Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We've got Scorpio and then Pisces again. So I feel like there's this deep connection to your spiritual nature, that maybe there's new philosophies and a new understanding, a spiritual awakening of some kind, an upgrade, so to speak, that's happening with the Taurus. After all, you do have Uranus in your sign, and with this Tower card as well, I feel like that's a very strong Uranus Aries kind of energy. And this Tower next to the Hangman is also telling me that when it comes to new perspectives and new understanding, that you're kind of like in the pressure cooker of your spiritual growth, that for some or other reason your higher self is really demanding you to step up and grow spiritually and come into new perspectives to be able to move forward on your spiritual journey. But I also want to say that if you are open to a beautiful love connection, that there could potentially be a water or fire sign, they might have both in their chart, that's very interested in you, because we have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands. You're very passionate, beautiful, romantic energy, but you're not going to take any BS. It's got to be the real thing, I feel. So tell me about this Ace of Cups. Why is the Ace of Cups here? I feel there is a sense of generosity with the Taurus at the moment. They are experiencing, or they have a sense of being grateful, practicing gratitude in what they have. And we have the Moon. So that's more Scorpio, water kind of energy. So why is the... Okay. So I feel for some of you there could be a fear of love, like you are consciously treading very carefully on the subject of romance because of lessons that you've learned in the past. And I feel like there is a deep trepidation when it comes to love. Whether this is self-love, self-acceptance, maybe there's still a little bit of work in the way of transformation for you that you need to do at this point in time to get yourself to a place where you don't feel so vulnerable when you open yourself up emotionally to share your emotions. But at the moment, you're becoming very much aware of your emotional needs, on how deep it is that you need to feel for yourself, but also how deeply you need to be accepted by someone if you had to go into a romantic connection. I do feel like with Taurus at the moment, because Scorpio is your opposite sign, right? Scorpio is the opposite sign to your sun. And I feel like you are realizing at this point in time that if it's not real, if it's not deep, it won't do. Okay. We have the Queen of Wands here. The Queen of Wands is very passionate. She's Sagittarius, Leo, Aries energy. She's a natural leader, very good interpersonal skills, okay? I feel you coming into your power when it comes to you right in your element. You are growing, you're coming out of it, you are busy transforming. We have the Empress here, which is Taurus, Moon, Venus, and Cancer energy. So I feel you might also deal with a person who's very supportive of you if you're a masculine person. There is, she might be a mother, she might have children, she might just be very mature. She has a lot of life experiences in the way of good and bad, or, she's learned a lesson, so to speak, her life lessons. And so I feel that this person is very supportive of Taurus at this point in time, especially with the moon close by. It just compounds that beautiful feminine nourishing energy that the Empress exhibits. So I could also feel like this is you, Taurus, stepping into your power, being action orientated, ready to take action for yourself, by yourself. Good dynamic energy. And I feel like you might be dealing with women during this period of time who is very, they're just there, they're warm, they're generous, they're accepting of you. And you could also exhibit these qualities as well. I feel with the Ace of Cups and the Empress that maybe for some of you there could be a potential birth. You might hear of a birth of someone, or maybe you are pregnant and there's an impending birth. So tell me about the Two of Wands. Two of Wands is about opportunities that is presented to you in the way of, definitely. For some of you, I feel you are awaiting a birth. Okay, we have the Sun. Beautiful. So for some Taurus, there's a little bambino on the way. Isn't that good news? That's wonderful. For some of you, there might also be a wedding. With this Four of Wands, it could be wedding celebration, birthday celebration. We will be in Taurus season soon. So, you might be planning that or thinking about it, but I also feel if you have family or loved ones who had crossed over, because this is the 11-11, I do feel like your loved ones in heaven are kind of already celebrating your birthday, okay, even though it's not quite there yet. I feel when it comes to taking business opportunities, even though we are in lockdown, Taurians are very resilient, okay? They don't let lockdown get them down. They're very persistent. They know how to persevere. They know how to work with their resources. And I feel like lockdown is not going to slow you down one bit. You're going to be innovative. You're going to take your opportunities, and there's beautiful opportunities coming for you with the Sun. And the Sun next to that Queen of Wands, tell me there's a very Leonine. Maybe you have Leo rising. Maybe you have a strong Leo in your chart, or you might be dealing with a feminine person who is a very Leo-like in the way that she has very warm and accepting personality towards you, very supportive. And this person is a mature woman, and she actually could open doors for you in the way of your career or business opportunities. This person might also not only have Leo but Aries or potentially Sagittarius in their chart, because we have a lot of fire here, in this line. So we have Page of Swords. Page of Swords is someone who's still learning how to communicate. We're dealing with a potential child or a young person who is still a little bit... there's a sense of curiosity here with that Page of Swords. Maybe you want to do research. So I just want to see why this Page of Swords is here. Okay, there's 3 cards. Obviously, the Page of Swords has a lot to say. Pages are also messages, okay? So we have Gemini. That is where Venus is going to retrograde, to and fro, going to stay. Venus is going to start retrograding in mid-May. And she's going to stay in Gemini for 3 months. Okay, so your Venus in Gemini and with the Lovers card showing up with this Page of Swords is telling me that there might be some communication coming to you from someone who is potential long-term relationship material. And this is the angels working behind the scenes to bring the two of you together. Venus in retrograde is reevaluation of relationships, but also potentially bring people back from the past, okay? Then we have the Six of Swords and we have the Knight of Pentacles. So for some of you, there is an opportunity to travel to see someone who would like to invest with you long term. I really like this Knight of Pentacles because this is someone who's practical. It's an offer that's slow in coming, but it's loyal, it's there. It's not going to disappear on you. It's nice and solid, okay? This Knight is also Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo energy. But to me, this is almost like more Taurus, okay? Because it's like looking to invest, looking to plant that seed and seeing the potential of how this relationship could potentially play out for you, okay? I also feel like there could be news from afar, someone traveled to see you or you travel to see someone to maybe have a conversation, because that's why this Page of Swords is here, to have a conversation or some sort of message, a connection of some kind coming in to talk about this communication. You have the Sun in this reading, which is one of the most, it's the benefic card in the deck, without a doubt, hands down. And we have this little page here, so expect some communication coming to you hot and fast, because we do have the Knight of Swords here as well. We have romance on the cards for you, returning to balance. Doing your shadow work. I feel like there's still a little bit of a residual of shadow work that you're doing, but this is an absolute beautiful reading, Taurus. I feel like you have a lot to look forward to during this period of time. I loved reading for you. Please give me feedback and have a beautiful day. Light and love.